Hello and welcome to Legislative Report. I'm State Representative Mario Scavello of the 176th District in Monroe County. I imagine most of you who are watching this program today know someone who's affected by autism. Autism spectrum disorder occurs in roughly 1 of every 68 U.S. children. This is a tenfold increase in prevalence over the last 40 years, and boys are 4 to 5 times more likely to have autism than girls. The organization Autism Speaks exists to fund research, support families dealing with the disorder, and raise public awareness through many avenues, including programs like this. Joining me today representing Autism Speaks are Tia and Diana Fritz. Ladies, welcome to the program. What a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you for having us.
And it seems like just yesterday we were meeting in the office, and I said, what a great idea. Why not do a program to promote the upcoming event that you have this is a 4th event?
Yes, 4th year.
4th year, but let's talk about first, what got you involved in autism? What made you do this?
I started with Autism Speaks when I was a sophomore in college.
Okay.
We chose Autism Speaks as a service project, and we attended a walk in the Lehigh Valley.
Okay.
I believe they had roughly 10,000 people at their walk that year.
Wow.
And it was overwhelming to see how many individuals in our community, although it was Lehigh Valley, a little bit outside of our area, were affected by autism. And to learn about the lack of funding. So we decided to get involved with Autism Speaks regularly. And a few years later, we brought the walk to the Poconos.
And it's been growing every year ever since. I know that. Dan, and you're the supporting mom.
Yes.
You know, it's great to see someone take up a baton and just to say, we need to do something about it. And it's really a pleasure meeting you in the office. And that's what, again, spurred me to do this. I've attended, I think I was at all 4 of them. I stopped at all 4 of them. I walked a couple of them. The last one I walked is a pretty windy day too.
Yes.
Well, you know what my situation, my sister has an autistic child, so I know what it is firsthand. I see what it's done to her and her family, and the effort that needs to be put in. And to me, the early diagnosis is one of the most important things. And while I've been in Harrisburg, I remember former representative, and then he was Speaker of the House, Dennis O'Brien, who had an autistic nephew as well. And he was really a leader in trying to get some funding for autism in a separate line item within our budget. And you know, it's grown over the years. Just to get $1 million back then was, a victory. I remember one year that Governor Rendell was looking for votes on the budget, and we were holding it up until he put a line item in for autism, and he gave his word that he would. And Dennis O'Brien and myself sat close to each other, so we pretty much discussed the issue for a long, long time. And I'm happy to say that this year there's another $2.6 million increase. So even Governor Corbett every year has put more money in, and we're almost at $20 million in a line item for autism. And it's definitely not enough, but I can tell you this, that at least it's being recognized in our Commonwealth. We've asked the doctors for early diagnosis. Doctors weren't diagnosing it early. Am I correct?
Correct. Now, most diagnoses you can get as early as between 3 and 4 years old. And obviously, early diagnosis is the key because you can start services, early intervention. Yeah.
If you don't catch it early, your chances of catching it early, I believe, and from what I hear anyway, that the chances of helping the child is much greater. The longer you wait, the harder it is. Am I correct?
Yes.
So parents out there, if there's any symptoms, if you just see the symptoms, do what's right. Get them checked out. Right?
Yes, and talk to your pediatrician. Autism Speaks has a lot of tools on their website. They have a Know the Signs campaign. If you start to recognize these signs in your child, you can go to your pediatrician. There are also guides for pediatricians on the website. Though prevalence is higher, awareness is a lot higher, some pediatricians are still a little slow to diagnose. And so a concerned parent with this checklist that they found on our website gives them a bit of an upper hand when they go to their pediatrician. They can say, I see the signs, and they can push for their pediatrician to look further.
That's great. See, to me, it's all about education. We need to catch it early, and then we also need to see what's causing this. Why are these numbers so greater? And I'm wondering sometimes, in the past, we didn't diagnose right away. Is that possible that throws these numbers as high as they are?
Well, I think definitely our prevalence rate has risen because people are more aware of the signs and they're pushing for a diagnosis. We also have better resources of finding it. Recently, we worked with Google. They're storing human genome sequences, and we're able to look for certain genes that may indicate a predisposition to an autism spectrum disorder.
Wow, nice. Let's talk about the event. And I know Mom is involved in it as well. Diana, what's your part in the event, the upcoming event? What do you do?
Pretty much do all. I do most of the telephone calls, preparing, motivating some of the walk teams, setting up vendors, letters, corresponding with your office to have your involvement.
I look forward to it every year because I think it's a growing event, and it's an event that needs to happen. It needs to happen in Monroe because of the growth in the autism population in Monroe County. It's amazing how, let me just put it to you this way. I did a show, and I think we talked about this in my office, where a parent is scolding a child in a restaurant, and people think it's a bad parent, but it's really not. The parent, sometimes you need to do that. Am I correct? And what the show did was educate the public. And some parents actually wear a badge to let them know that this is what they need to do. Am I correct?
Yes. That's why Autism Speaks pushes so much for the awareness programs, to getting information out there. I was one of those very naive individuals until I had gotten involved.
Yeah.
Once you learn more, it's easier for a person to sit through and witness what a parent is going through with what most of us would say is an unruly child.
Yeah. Well, so the event is coming up. What's the date?
September 27th.
So, and you have talk about the teams. Like we talked a little bit about the teams.
Our teams come from Monroe, Carbon, Luzerne, Lackawanna, Pike counties.
Nice.
I know we even get a few from New Jersey as well. The day, it's not just about a fundraiser walk. We also offer access to service providers through our resource fair. This year is very special to us because we're adding on a safety fair along with our resource fair to provide information to our families to keep their children safe.
Nice, nice. So if somebody wanted to get involved, what would they do? Who would they call? You have some numbers of information?
The easiest place to get involved would be to go to our website, walknowforautismspeaks.org/NEPA. And that will get you in touch with our staff partner at Autism Speaks, Melissa Zavorsky. They can register for our walk there. If they want more information on autism or Autism Speaks, that's also accessible through the website.
And where's the event?
Pocono Raceway has been nice enough to host us the last 3 years, and we're excited for the 4th year there.
I hope they go back to the old location, however.
It's a little bit harder with all of the activities at the track since the paving.
Yeah.
Everyone loves it, and they want to schedule events there.
Yeah, it's been a pretty busy and they're very good to the community, the racetrack.
They are.
So what the date again and the time?
It's Saturday, September 27th. Registration opens at 11 a.m. 12 p.m. is our start, and families are welcome to stay after the event to check out the resource fair, the safety fair. Hopefully we'll have some fire trucks there. First responders as well.
It'll be a great day for families, just even if they're not affected, but to go there and to help and to participate, because it might not be them, but their neighbors or their friends.
Exactly. With a statistic like 1 in every 68, you're bound to know someone that's on the spectrum or someone who has a family member or a friend on the spectrum.
Okay. What else could we talk about with autism? Like I know it's such a growing issue in our communities. That what can we do? I know government needs to continue to fund and put dollars in for research. I know there's a tremendous amount of organizations that supply the services. I believe there's one, Therapeutic Services. Her banner is a yellow. I know she's at the event every year.
I know Sunshine Therapy.
Sunshine Therapy.
Suzanne Igdowski, her
yes.
husband is with the Raceway.
Yeah.
Yes, she's a service provider. They offer therapeutic support staff for children with autism.
And there's like I said, many more. But she always participates every year. I know that she's always there, and does a fab. As a matter of fact, I did a show with her a while ago. Very good to the community. They give back to the community. Yeah. It's obvious, and they really care. I'm talking to some of her staff. They really care about what they do. Let's be honest. You have to have the love and the care to want to do it, right?
It can't be just a job. Because
it is so difficult to, it's not an easy job. I saw them doing it. It's got to be a passion, right?
Yes.
To me, what you two ladies are doing is something that's really admirable. I truly appreciate it because if community leaders, you're like community leaders, stepping forward and being involved. Any other things that we can talk about? I know that you have various photos, and we're going to air them while we're speaking, yes, because I think it's important to let's see people see the gamut of people that show up, the variety of some of the teams and all, and how big it is growing. The population is growing up there in support of what you do in our community.
Yes, it's definitely growing. I think over the last 3 years, and if you include what we have now, we've been able to raise over $100,000
wow,
for Autism Speaks. And that's in our small walk in the Poconos.
Yeah.
Imagine, Autism Speaks has the largest grassroots effort for autism, and it's great to be a part of it.
I can't imagine little old Monroe County, over $100,000 and that's amazing, absolutely amazing. But it just goes to show you the generosity of the people within the communities that we live. And especially you're talking about in tough times. We're in a recession, and people still realize what that you need to help, and they're out there to help.
And I think it's important to note that only a small portion of that money that's been raised has come through corporate sponsorships. The majority of that has come through our family teams doing independent fundraising, asking everyone that they know to support.
You just mentioned that. How can somebody sponsor for the program? I thought for the event. I thought that'd be a nice. What would they?
Yes, corporate sponsors are more than welcome. We're coming up. If they want to be on the coveted walk T-shirt, they have to submit their sponsorship forms by August 3rd, and all of that information also available on our website.
So that's important. So you get the corporate sponsors. Maybe we can jump this number up.
Yes. In order to get on the T-shirt, we have sponsorship levels for as low as $500, and it's a great way because every participant that raises $150 or more gets that T-shirt. They're going to be wearing it. They're going to advertise your business, and we are a very tight-knit community. The autism community is very supportive of the businesses that support them.
It's a very good point. And again, it's a way to give back and to help. And some of these companies might not be aware of it. So it's great that you do this. Well, I just want you to know what a pleasure it is to be here with both of you, and thank you so much for coming down to the program and being a part of the program, and hopefully the program will generate some interest and have a much greater crowd at the next time we meet.
Thank you for having us.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
You've been watching Legislative Report. Legislative Report will return in a moment.
Did you know that there are 6 ornate bronze chandeliers hanging in the House chamber? The 4 large chandeliers are estimated to weigh 3 tons each. Yet these iron and brass fixtures, painted in 18-karat gold, manage to dangle effortlessly. It takes 168 light bulbs to light the large chandeliers and 84 light bulbs on each of the smaller chandeliers. As you can imagine, changing the light bulbs when they burn out is far from easy. Workers must build scaffolding in order to reach their 1,450 light bulbs. Today, special, long-life, low-wattage energy-saving bulbs are used to lessen the amount of times that the light bulbs will need to be replaced. Now you know.
Spinal Muscular Atrophy, or SMA, is a group of diseases that affect the neurons in a person's spinal cord and brainstem from sending the proper electrical and chemical messages to muscle cells. The result is the weakening of the muscles, including those that serve the basic functions of swallowing and breathing. Our guests today are still too familiar with SMA, and they're here to help us understand more about it. Joining me are Tara Maida and Mary Ann DiCrescenzo. Welcome to the program. Mom and Grandma, correct?
Yes. Thank you.
Tara, what a pleasure it is to have you here. Just last year, Patty Canoper told me about your event and what you do, and I was so, my wife and I came down, and we were just amazed at what was going on there, to see all of the students also from Penn State there helping, and it's obvious that the event has grown over the years. Tell me about Lukie and tell me the whole story.
Well, Luke was born in 2000. He would have been 14 years old this year. He passed away from spinal muscular atrophy right before he was 6 months old. We had never heard of spinal muscular atrophy. He had started showing symptoms when he was about a month old, but we didn't get his official diagnosis until he was 4 months old. We had gone through, many testing and different types of doctors. We wound up down with St. Christopher's in Philadelphia, working with their team, and that's where he was diagnosed. We had never heard of spinal muscular atrophy, and my husband and I are actually both carriers of the disease. So we were very surprised and needless to say, devastated by, the loss of our son. About 11 years ago now, we decided that we wanted to do something more and turn our grief into something bigger and better, and a way to remember Luke, a way for our family to all still be involved, and for him to be a part of our family, even though he wasn't physically here with us anymore. And we decided we wanted to do a festival. So we invited, January of that year, we invited our family and some friends over, and we said to them, we had this great idea, but we needed their help, and we couldn't do it just the two of us. We needed their help. So that's where we started. We have a big kitchen table, and we asked everybody
How the
for their
Italian
help.
families
and,
do it.
Yeah. So at that day, we decided where we wanted to have it, which was Penargil Park, the perfect venue, and we decided what we were going to call it. And Luke's name is actually Luke Anthony Joseph Maida. It's formal Luke, but Lukie was his nickname, and everybody called him Lukie. So naturally, we used his nickname for his festival. And it's grown so much since that first year. Like, we always said it would be like a church fair, just like very small, and it's just every year it just grows and grows.
Oh, it was an event. I took photos, I took a video, because I was so amazed at all the different stations that were there, and you see all the students all around. But the best was Lukie's grandma with her sign, Lukie's mom, Lukie's dad, Lukie's sister. Everybody had the appropriate T-shirt there. But what an event, and you're able to raise dollars for atrophy.
Last year we raised over $9,000.
Wow.
And over the past 10 years we've raised over $78,000.
Wow.
Awesome.
Wow. I should get you into fundraising.
Yes, yes.
To me, I'll be one of those that never heard of it as well, and I started to study up on it after being there, and it just goes to show you what an event and the effect that it can have on people. Oh. So, Grandma, tell us about you there. I know you're the big support, but without you, everybody says, "I'll go get I have a video," and Patty's saying, "I'll go get the grandma."
Well, we wouldn't be as successful as we are if it wasn't for the support of the community and our local fire department, which is the Lookout Fire Department from Penargil. They have been wonderful, and the community support of Weona Park. We have a lot of bands that come in, and magicians and things like that, and community performers. We had singers and things like that, and it's just quite a wonderful outpouring of love from the community for us. I used to say, and I still say, we turn the smiles of the children, turn the park into a sea of smiles. That's what it is. It's you can't believe it until you see it.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Look, I was impressed.
Yeah, we had over 1,500 people last year, and Ronald McDonald made an appearance, and he preceded our festival parade for the children. And it's just absolutely, we have encompassed all different kinds of weather. We've been evacuated from the building because of
The
flooding.
flooding.
Oh my gosh.
And it was wonderful. Our band played, we got to get out of this place, and they played the Titanic. But the community, we said, well, we'll call off the raffles then. And the community said, no, we'll help carry everything over to the outside pavilion. And we just continued the day like nothing happened, and it was wonderful.
Well, I'm going to try to do something special for you guys. I'm going to try to see if I can get a helicopter pilot to come there, maybe in the field, do helicopter rides. Now, this is, you know, he doesn't know it yet. I'm putting him on the spot so to increase maybe the fundraising a little bit more.
Thank you so much.
And so they'll go up on a helicopter, maybe a little bit around Penn Argyl there, and they get to see it from the air. And so I'm going to try to work that out because
That would be great.
So it's going to be a surprise to the helicopter guy, but I think we can put it off. And everything you said, I took photos. I want you, like I said, not just a video, but I took photos of the singing, of the McDonald's, Ronald McDonald, all the different things. You got great food, and it is a festival. It is. I put that up to any of these other festivals anywhere.
Thank you.
But it is fun. It is a fun day for children.
And all the food is homemade.
Yeah.
The family's in the kitchen.
My husband's a
cooking.
chef,
Oh.
so he's in charge of food. I don't do the food. He's in charge of that.
Where's he cook? Where's he
He's
chef?
right now he's with U.S. Food Service.
Okay. Good company.
Yes.
So now, when is the festival?
It's October 11th this year. It's always the Saturday of Columbus Day weekend.
Do you do sponsorships for it?
Yes, we do,
You
yes.
do. So how would somebody, if they wanted to sponsor the festival, what would they do?
They would just contact us. They can contact us on Facebook, send a private message, or they can call our phone number, 588.
Don't worry about it. We'll put it up on
We'll put it up on the screen, right?
But you know what we do? It happens to me as well. I can remember when I used to supervise A&P stores, 20 of those telephone numbers
Yes.
today. But because now we depend on a cell phone, forget it. It doesn't happen
That's
today.
what I said. If I didn't have my phone, how would I contact anybody?
Exactly. So don't worry about it. We'll put the phone number on the screen because that's important to let people know. But yeah, and that's a way that some of these companies can go out and do the right thing and invest in the help of finding a cure for
That would be great. Yeah.
Right. So let's talk about we briefly talked about the events. Let's talk about the various events that you have, because I know, like, for kids can go there and there's all different things that throw games or something, right?
Yes. There's games. A lot of our games are homemade. We have very.
You don't see them anywhere, but they're unique, but good.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have very, very crafty friends. Our friends Jen and Jason have built a lot of the homemade games themselves. And they're extremely talented, the two of them. And so we have games for the kids and cotton candy. We have a pumpkin patch where the kids can go and pick out their own pumpkin, and then they can also decorate their pumpkin with faces and cat faces and scary faces and cute faces. And
You've got games there that you don't see anywhere else, and you're right when you
Yes,
say the
yes.
uniqueness of them.
Yeah.
And it's the challenging games, and kids would have even adults will have
Yes.
a tremendous amount of fun looking at them, and trying to throw things and
Yes.
And then there's a room there, in the big room there, where you really highlight each and every year. You've got poster boards with photos from the first year.
Yes.
To the
Yeah,
right.
so people can stop and look at the pictures and see how we've progressed over the years since our first year, and the years of rain and cold years and warm years, and just to see how and we've had people come up to us and say, "I've been here every year," which is
Isn't
so
that nice?
amazing.
Isn't
Yes.
That you've touched people.
Yeah.
We have adults that are coming to volunteer that had originally come when they were children. And that's nice. And now they bring their children.
Is that something?
Yeah.
And that just goes to show you that it's entertaining as well. It's the event.
Yeah.
Patty told me in the office, you got to go to this event. They're so good people. They do so and
Oh,
so.
thank you so much.
Oh, you've got her forever.
Yes. And that's part of how we've grown over the years. It's not a very we call ourselves the planning committee, but it's not like a structured organization. It's our friends and our family and our friends are more family than friends. And without them though, we wouldn't be able to do any of it. Like it's just wonderful how much love everyone has for Luke and for us and for each other, that we can pull it off every year, because without them we wouldn't be able to do it.
It's growing. It's almost like they didn't know Lukie, but they do know.
Absolutely.
Because of what you're doing.
Yes.
And
The posters that we put out, the flyers, the stores put them up in the window, and of course Lukie's picture is on them. And ever since our girls were little, we would say to them, look, Lukie's having ice cream, Lukie's over here having pizza. And it's wonderful going through town and seeing Luke's picture all over.
nice. Wow.
Everybody in the community just loves him.
Yeah, I'm one to believe that he's there at that event.
Oh,
we don't
I'm sure
see him,
he is. That's
but
right.
he's there and
He's
saying,
there.
Mom,
Yeah.
Grandma, sis, you did well. You did good.
And he's continuing to change the world.
Yeah. Just think about that. Well,
Yeah.
2 years before Luke was born, they had just then found the gene that causes SMA. And now, 16 years later of them finding the gene, the Center of Disease Control say that we're one of the closest diseases of finding a cure.
Wow.
And right now there are treatments out there that they're testing on the children that are working.
Yeah, there's
That is
15
slowing down.
drugs in the pipeline, and there's in clinical trials. I think there's 3 right now.
Yeah.
That's great news.
Yeah.
That is, and that's got to be
And-
very rewarding.
amazing,
Oh my
amazing.
gosh.
When we started Lukie's Festival,
Yeah.
there was 2 drugs that were being looked at for SMA, and to see that grow to 15 is just amazing.
With possibility of these things working, of the drugs working. What is, I've never heard of it, but what is the percentage of, how many
It's,
afflicted with the disease?
It's 1 in 4 people are actually carriers.
Okay.
But in order for a child to have it, both parents have to be carriers. And then it's 1 in 2,000 live births would have it.
Wow.
But it's considered a rare disease.
And we never knew, Joe, my son-in-law, his family, and our family, we never knew we were carriers. And then after Luke was born, then we were tested. And out of, do you want to talk about your family?
Yeah, and so my mom was tested, and my dad had passed away. So my mom is not a carrier, so we knew that my father, but I had gotten it from his gene. And so through the years, we've been trying to trace it back through our family, just so that people know.
Yeah, and you're doing the right thing. God bless you.
Thank
Thank
you so
you.
much.
We have
Thank
some
you.
guests here. Why don't you introduce them? Come on over.
This is my sister, Jennifer Reese.
Hi, Jen. Hi.
And our daughter, Anna.
Uh-huh.
And our daughter, Karine. And my younger sister, Catherine DiCrescenzo. Say hi, everybody.
How you doing? And it's all, like you said, it's a family
It's our
event.
family, yes.
Okay, so let's look in the camera and say, when is the event? And we'll see you there. Come on.
October 11th.
All of together we got to do this. Come on now.
1, 2, 3. October 11th.
Where?
Leona
What time?
11:30 to 5.
All right. And we'll see you there.
Thank
you,
you.
ladies.
Thank you so
much
much.
for being part of the show. And
It was wonderful.
I hope this is one of the biggest events. And like I said, I'm going to tell my friend with the helicopter to see if we
Great.
can.
That would be
We're going to
great.
have to get permission from the police down there to let it happen. But
Yeah.
I think we can pull it off.
Oh, thank you so much,
Okay?
Mario.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
God bless.
That's all the time we have for today's program. If you need assistance with any state matter, feel free to contact my local office through my website. The information will be shown in a moment. Thanks for watching, and please join me the next time for Legislative Report.